This is the Wellness Club, where we dive into all things wellness, from nutrition to fitness to productivity and more. We are exploring the science to help you feel your best inside and out. I'm your host, Cass Camp, and I am so happy that you're here. Welcome to the club. Hi everyone, happy Monday. I hope you're having a great start to your week. I know that I am, because while I'm recording this, I'm having the most perfect weekend. Like, it genuinely is the perfect blend of socializing and then also getting my shit together. It's been perfect. I've been really active, but I also went out and I had a cute little date with my boyfriend. Like, just the perfect weekend, and I'm loving it. I'm such a summer girl. Like, I love being in the sun. I love being in a bathing suit. I love being outside. And the winter, usually I tend to fall into the winter uglies a little bit, but I don't know. Lately, I've been embracing it. Like, even yesterday, I went for a walk outside with two of my friends and it was freezing cold, but we went and it was nice. And I don't know, I'm kind of loving it. I'm kind of loving bundling up, putting a scarf on, just enjoying the winter. But I think that's because my routines lately have been so solid. Probably more solid than ever in my life before, or at least in the past few months, past couple years. I just feel like I'm in such a good routine that I actually enjoy and is working for this phase of life that I'm in. Because the thing about routines is they're always going to change. You could sit here and craft out the perfect routine, but if it doesn't match your lifestyle right now, it's not going to work. And sometimes I think it can take a little bit of experimenting to figure out what works and what doesn't. But over time, you do figure it out the more you get to know yourself and everything like that. Lately, I've been experimenting with some things like the past month and a half maybe, that I feel like really have worked for me. And that's what I want to share in this episode, because maybe it will work for you too. And stay tuned for the end, because I'm answering some listener questions, so you'll want to hear those. Some of these habits that I've recently added into my life are habits that I used to say I would never do. And now here I am doing them, loving them. And who's to say how long it's going to last? Because that's the thing about habits. They should change and they should ebb and flow to match your routine. I really feel like a well-rounded wellness routine is one that you can adapt no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, no matter what job you're in. It's being able to find that time and find those habits that work to match the lifestyle that you're in. And I feel like I finally figured out something that works for me, at least for right now. And I want to share those things with you. One of my newer habits that I've been doing lately is working out in the morning before work. And in the job that I'm in, I do wake up early, whether I'm going to the gym or not. I wake up at 5 every day. And to go to the gym, I have to wake up around 4:20. But I've been loving it. Like, I've actually been loving it. And the way that it started is, honestly, I've been so consistent with my workouts the past few months that I don't want to miss them. And lately I've had a lot of stuff after work that has caused me to pick and choose between working out or going to the events. And I just don't want to pick and choose. I want to be able to go to the events and do my workouts, not miss them, because I know that working out makes me feel really good. Even though it's hard in the moment, even though I don't always feel like going, the benefits have been really loud for me lately. Like, I've just been really enjoying it. And the only way that I've been able to go some days is if I go before work. Before this, I thought that I didn't have enough time because I already woke up so early. And I was thinking about it and I was crunching the numbers in my head. And I'm like, you know what? I can make time to go to the gym in the morning as long as I follow like a strict schedule, basically. So that means packing my bag the night before. That means prepping my breakfast the night before. That means having my coffee pot ready to go. That means having everything in order so that when I wake up, I can just go. When I show up to the gym, I know exactly what I'm doing. When I go to take a shower, I have everything prepped. My clothes are already packed in order, everything like that. And it worked. I tried it out and I absolutely loved it. First of all, and this is what I feel like everyone says, is working out in the morning makes you feel so elite. Like, so elite. It makes you feel better than every single person that's existing. One of my best friends from college, Emily, she works out every single morning without fail. And before I was doing this, I would see her Apple Watch, because we share Apple Watch like ring notifications. And I would see her finish her workout when I was like chilling, drinking my coffee, doing my gratitude journal. And I would send her the little like, you go girl or whatever, so that she knew that I knew that we all knew that she went and ran 10 miles while I was sitting there drinking my coffee. And I just know that she lives every single day feeling on top of the world, like she is elite, because she is. And I want some more of that in my life. But one of the bigger reasons that I personally really have been enjoying working out in the morning is because it gives my mind something to focus on that's productive and positive. As I've gotten older, I found myself having more anxious thoughts and more doubt and fear and worries. And that's probably because as you get older, you do accumulate more responsibilities and you learn more about the world and you see more terrible things and tragedies, not to mention social media showing us the real videos of real tragedies in the morning if you're looking at that. Over time, like I just have found myself having more anxious thoughts. And I never considered myself someone that had anxiety, like actual diagnosed anxiety. But as I've gotten older, those thoughts and those patterns have come into my brain. And to deal with that, I've been trying to figure out different ways to manage that. Things like journaling, just healthy habits that help. Part of that is diet. All of these different things kind of all go together. But one of the biggest things for me personally is having something to do in the morning that forces me to think about something else. And before I was going to the gym in the morning, it was any kind of chores or just things that could immediately make me feel productive. Even something as simple as unloading the dishwasher, it was something that got me feeling better. And I didn't always do this every single day, but I noticed a difference when I did. I journal. I love to journal. I love to do my gratitude journal, everything like that. But sometimes sitting there writing about it makes it even worse. And when I was in those like anxious patterns or anxious thoughts about my job or whatever I had going on that day, the last thing I wanted to do was sit there and think about it more and write about it. So I was trying to find different things that I could do. One thing is not being on my phone, which I've been an advocate about this on here. I don't go on my phone in the morning. I don't go on my phone before bed. I keep my phone in a separate room. That's not really a problem for me. But I needed to do something to keep my mind active. Doing the chore like unloading the dishwasher or prepping my lunchbox or different things like that, that helped. But the thing that really has made a difference is working out in the morning. There's something about jumping out of bed, immediately putting clothes on, brushing your teeth, grabbing all your stuff, and getting out the door as quickly as possible that just clears your brain of anything else that you could possibly worry about. It ends up being the only thing that you're thinking about, especially when you are on such a tight time crunch. Like me, I have to go at a certain time or I will not make it to work on time. So I end up having no choice but to just get out the door and focus on the one thing that I'm actually doing in the moment and be present. And it's kind of just this silence. Like, you know that I think it's an Instagram sound or TikTok sound or whatever, where it's like all this noise, all this noise, all this noise. And then it's like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but you know what I'm talking about. Basically, it feels like that sound where you have all this noise, and then you get there and there's no noise. And there's truly nothing to think about. When I'm at the gym in the morning, even if I have the most stressful day ahead, I have the most anxious thoughts about my day, they're just gone. They like disappear. And then what happens is, after you leave, you feel like this elite human being because you woke up and you went to the gym, that it carries on throughout the day. And to me, that doesn't sound cocky. That doesn't sound self-centered. That sounds like free therapy that you could do every day. Like if going to the gym makes you feel superior and makes you feel good, why not do that more? That's a healthy habit. There are so many other things that you could do that would be way worse. To me, that's a healthy habit that I think we should all chase. That's been one of my favorite new habits that I've been doing is just going to the gym in the morning. My boyfriend and I have been leaving together. He goes to a different gym though, but it's been fun to wake up, grab our stuff, make our coffee, and get out of the house and feel good the rest of the day. And we go to bed really early. And that's one part that is important in this is if you're going to do this, you got to prep before. You got to pack your bag the night before. You got to pack your clothes. You got to pack your body wash if you're showering there. You got to pack everything you need. But it makes you feel like really on top of the day. It makes you feel really prepared, makes you feel really good. And it's been one of my favorite things. I haven't been going every day in the morning. Like there are still days after work or on the weekends where I go at a regular time. But on the days that I have stuff after work, I'm absolutely going in the morning because to me, I don't want to miss my workouts. I don't want to make excuses for my workouts. My workouts have honestly been one of my biggest priorities in the past month, and I've been loving it, and I've been seeing a difference, and I've been feeling really good, and it's just been really great, honestly. It's been the perfect mix of taking care of myself and self-care, but also pushing myself to do things that make me uncomfortable. And I think that that's really important to add in there because self-care is a fantastic movement. Everyone talks about it. But I do think that we kind of went past the point of self-care to the point where we kind of take it a little too far. And at least that's what was happening with me. I took self-care as, let me just not do the things that I know are going to be good for me. And that's where my battle with self-care comes in, because of course it's important to take care of yourself and rest and recover, but make sure that you're doing things that require you to rest and recover. You know what I mean? I've been reading The Power of One More by Ed Milet. One of the quotes that I read that I absolutely loved that he said was, I found that most people are tired from doing too little activity instead of too much activity. And that is so perfect and so true. And I've really realized that in my own life, even before I read this part. Let me read it again for you in case you missed it. He said, I found that most people are tired from too little activity instead of too much activity. I feel like we all have slipped into this at some point where we're in a cycle of just chilling and not really doing anything new. And that makes you feel even more exhausted and even more depressed or anxious or anything like that. And sometimes the best thing you can do is do something completely different to reignite that spark in you. You know, do something like a hard workout that's going to get you re-jolted, re-energized, into everything. Even though the actual workout itself isn't always the easiest thing to do. I mean, I'm in the wellness space. I love wellness. I'm a personal trainer, and I still struggle with going to the gym because it's not something that is easy to do. If it was easy, every single person would have huge muscles, right? But most people don't. And that's because it's hard to do. It takes a lot of discipline. It takes not only the physical exertion in the actual workout, but all the mental preparation, all the packing before, all the planning, getting to the gym, doing everything you need to do, the actual time management of it all. It takes a lot of energy, both physically and mentally, to have a consistent workout routine. But what I found is when I prioritize that, the rest of my life becomes easier. And that's not this fluffy woo-woo advice. It's just true. And it's so awesome when that clicks for you because it's clicked for me before, then you lose it, then it comes back. Then, you know, it's like a cycle, just like anything, it ebbs and flows. But lately I've been in the cycle where I have just been obsessed with taking care of my body, taking care of my physical health. And it feels really good. Like, you know, when you get good sleep and you drink your water and you eat healthy and you get some form of movement in, you feel so much better. Like it actually works. It's not just fluffy. It's not just looking good for social media. It actually works. Not to mention all the other benefits that come with it, like just good health in general, looking good on the beach, all those things. And I'll take those too. Another new habit that I've been doing recently is reading even more, like almost every day. I've always enjoyed reading. I like reading different genres, self-help, historical fiction, regular fiction, romance, all those things. But I'm not this avid reader where I have a long list of books that I want to read. I'm not reading every single day. I don't have a Kindle. Like I'm not that kind of reader. It's more when I see a book that I want to read, I read it. If I don't, I take a break, you know? But lately, it's been one of my favorite ways to unwind without going on my phone or seeing negative social media or anything like that. So I've been reading about, I don't know, anywhere from 10 to 50 pages a day, not every single day. But it's been on this little habit tracker that I actually made on Canva for myself. I printed it out and it's just been fun to do. It's been fun to track. I only track 3 habits a day: my workouts, eating at home, and reading. It's fun and it's addicting because I want to check every box off every single day. Right now I'm reading The Power of One More, but right before this, I read a Kristen Hanna book, The 4 Winds. I think I talked about it on the podcast. She's amazing. Like I want to read every single one of her books. But I kind of just go all over the place in terms of what books I'm reading when. I like to switch back and forth between something motivational or fiction and back and forth because I get bored of reading the same thing. So I like to switch it around. Overall, though, I feel like I've just been in my wellness grind. Like, I really have been loving it and enjoying it and having fun with it. And that's the best time to be in it because it's actually fun. Like, going to the gym, making my meals, reading after, it just feels good. I've even been getting my friends into it. Like, we've been working out together, going on walks together, just having fun. I don't know. I've just been really liking it. Like, even my weekends have been completely centered around wellness, going to the gym in the morning, going to the grocery store. And maybe that sounds boring and maybe that sounds like, okay, you are not 24, but I don't know. I've been liking it. Like, I've been having a lot of fun. I also finished dry January. It was easy peasy, lemon squeezy. It was not a big deal at all, but I will say that I did break it on February 1st. Not because I couldn't wait, but because it felt like the right time. Me and my boyfriend, we went on this super cute romantic date and we sat at the bar. There was 2 bar seats open right for us. Everyone else was waiting for reservations. We slid right in there. And then the bartender, she was so nice and so cool. And she was like, you like espresso martinis? And I was like, honestly, I've never even had one, which is crazy. I know. So I had one and I loved it. It was fantastic. She was awesome. She was like, I make it a little different. It was fresh espresso. I don't know. It was perfect. It was awesome. So I broke it and I don't even care because over the month of January, I went to so many social things and didn't drink. And I feel like if you've never done that, you should do that at least a few times in your life. Going to a social place and not drinking when everyone else is drinking, because it just teaches you things about yourself. It's really empowering. It's really encouraging. And I like doing that every now and then. Like, I literally did it all of January. No big deal. I'll probably continue to do it because I don't know. You don't always need to drink. I don't always need to drink, and alcohol doesn't always sit with me well. So, but that espresso martini, that thing sat with me well. That was fun. We also got cannoli cake, which was so good. But anyway, where am I going with this? Let's jump into a question. This is something new that I'm going to incorporate maybe at the end of some episodes, maybe all of them. We'll see how it goes. But I've been getting some questions, some DMs about different things that I wanted to answer on the podcast because they're more common than you think. The first question I have says, I've been working out for a while now and I'm not seeing any progress. I'm using very light weights in the gym because I'm scared to get bulky. What should I be doing? Okay, I love this question because this is one that a lot of people ask, especially women, is this fear of getting bulky. And here's what I say every single time. If it was that easy to get bulky, everyone would be bulky, everyone would be muscular. It just doesn't work like that. If it was that easy, every guy would be so happy because they wouldn't have to work so hard to become so muscular, right? So if your fear is bulkiness, you have nothing to worry about. You have to work really, really hard and eat a lot of food to get to that bulky image that you're picturing in your head. And it is way more work than you think. If you are working out just to maintain your health, get healthier, get lean, get more tone, I promise bulkiness should not be anything stopping you or holding you back. You will reach that level of tone or lean before you reach that level of bulkiness. But it's definitely important to use weights that are actually challenging you. So I saw in the question that you're using really light weights, and that's fine if you're feeling a burn or you're feeling that challenge. But I feel like especially as women, we downplay how much we can actually lift. And if you've been lifting for a while, you do need to add weight over time because that's what's going to challenge your body. Our bodies are super amazing where they adapt to whatever you give them. So if you've been lifting 5-pound weights every single week for the last 5 months, your body's not going to do anything different because your body is used to the 5-pound weights versus you add in something new, maybe a 10-pound weight or something heavier. Your body's going to be like, oh, this is harder. Now let's do something to get stronger and get more fit to be able to do this 10-pound weight. You do have to challenge your body and make it adapt because that's where the changes happen. If you're trying to lean up or get tone or get fit or lose some body fat, all of that requires challenging your body. The next question I wanted to answer is, should I be training core? I see a lot of influencers and people on social media saying that core is getting worked on all of my exercises, so I do not need to train it. What do you think? Okay. I love social media because there are great points of education, but there are also a lot of points of confusion and misinformation. Me personally, I think everyone should be training core. Yes, you use your core to brace during exercises and really flex your muscles and protect your spine, but training core is important to strengthen that ability and activate your core muscles throughout the day. Most people are not activating their core throughout the day. That's why you see a lot of people standing around with big arches in their backs, poor posture, low back pain. All of that can be related to a weak core. So training core, and it doesn't have to be like 1,000 sit-ups or anything like that. There are so many better exercises to train your core, but training your core is going to help with all of that. And something a lot of people don't know is you have a natural core set around your body. That is your core. Your core wraps all the way around your midsection. It's called your transverse abdominis. And you could do it right now. I'll do it with you. Flex all of those muscles. But I'm doing it right now. I'm still able to talk. I'm not holding my breath, but I'm flexing my entire core. These are called stomach vacuums. You can hold these for like 60 seconds, do it 3 times a day, a few times throughout the day, at work, whatever you're doing at your computer, and start building that awareness back to your core. Your core is just like any other muscle. And I kind of hate that this narrative of not training core has become popular, because that would be like me saying, I don't need to train my arms because when I do deadlifts, my arms are holding the bar. Like, yeah, my arms are involved when I'm doing a deadlift, but the main exercise and the main focus is focusing on my legs. So it's still important to train all the other body parts, especially when a majority of people are very weak in their core. If you're having low back pain, I would definitely take a look at your core strength as one of the first priorities, your core and your glutes, because most of us are standing around, sitting around with really poor posture, really weak core. And one of the best ways to do that is strengthen it. Not to mention all the aesthetic benefits of training core as well. So 1000% good question. You should be training core. I personally like to do a couple exercises at the end of every workout, but you could also dedicate a day to doing core, like a core and cardio or something like that. But just for my schedule, my workout, I prefer to spread it out throughout the week. So it's really up to you, but definitely add some core into your workout routine. I have one more question that we're going to answer on this episode. And if you have other questions, DM me on Instagram at the Wellness Club XO or at Cast Camp, and I'll be happy to add them into the podcast. Okay, so our last question says, I'm really struggling to get my steps up. I work from home, but my work doesn't really allow me to use a walking pad. I go to the gym and use the treadmill, but I'm very new to working out and I'm only hitting about 5,000 steps per day. I'm feeling really bad about this. How can I reach 10,000 steps per day? I'm really glad you asked this question, because this is something that I see thrown around a lot, is like 10,000 steps a day, 10,000 steps a day. And 10,000 steps a day is great. If you're hitting 10,000 steps a day, that's amazing. That's a great number. If you're passing that, that's awesome. But 10,000 is kind of a random number. There's actually no scientific evidence that 10,000 is the perfect number of steps to get per day for optimal health. It's more because it sounds good on social media and it's easy to throw around. Now, 10,000 steps is great, and getting your steps up is great. There's tons of science and articles about how sitting is the new smoking and how we need to be getting our steps up. But the whole idea of getting 10,000 steps per day might be feasible for some, but I've found that it's not feasible for everybody, like the person writing this question. My philosophy on this and my approach to this is try to increase your step count from what it was before. So rather than just saying, I need to get 10,000 steps this week, look at your steps from the week before. If you're only averaging 3,000 steps that week, it's really unrealistic to expect yourself to hit 10,000 the next week. You would have to be walking a ton more compared to your routine from the week before. So instead, if you originally had 3,000, I would shoot for 4,000 or 5,000 the next week. And then the week after that, try to go up from that. And then the week after that, try to go up from that. And rather than just focusing all your energy on reaching this step count, I would also try to focus that energy into a strength training routine. As a trainer, I would so much rather you increase your step count a little bit, because that's super beneficial, but channel that energy into a strong strength training routine over trying to hit this magical 10,000 step count number. Like if you're getting 5,000 steps a day and doing a strength training routine, that is way better than just spending all this time trying to walk to get these step counts up. Walking is super beneficial for your health, but strength training is also important and very effective in improving your health outcomes. I would channel some of that energy into following a strength training routine. And as a beginner, it really doesn't have to be this crazy workout split. You could do a 3-time-a-week workout split for an hour, full body each day, and see amazing results, especially as a beginner. Being a beginner to strength training has so many benefits because your body's not used to it. Just like what I said previously, your body adapts to these new things. So you want to challenge it. You want to give it something new to do. And being a beginner to strength training will really show you some results really quickly. So the whole 10,000 steps, while that's great and while getting movement is awesome, there's not any science to back up 10,000 steps specifically. So don't stress so much about that, especially if all your energy is going into that, but you're missing out on the strength training, the nutrition, all the other factors that also impact your health. Let me know if you guys have other questions that you want me to answer, anything about workouts, nutrition, productivity, anything like that. Send me a DM on Instagram and I'll add it into next week's episode. So thank you so much for listening. As a reminder, we are hosting the wellness retreat this summer in the Poconos. So check out the link in the description for all the details, but I would love for you to come. We still have some spots available and the group is going to be so awesome. Like I'm just so excited. The people that have signed up already are amazing and it's going to be a great trip. So sign up for the retreat in the Poconos, PA this summer. And follow the Instagram at the Wellness Club XO or me at Cass Camp. Give this podcast 5 stars and nothing less. Send this to your friends and let me know what you think. Have a great week and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.